Hello, I'm Jose, and this is the Cinematic Dogma podcast. I'm joined, as every week, by my masterful friend, Blake.
You took the obvious one. You took it, but thanks, Jose. Happy to be here.
Sorry if I disappoint you for my lack of creativity.
No,
Don't worry.
It's the only one I had. I was, you got it.
Okay. But yeah, what did we watch this week?
This week we watched a film that was, I think, in competition in Cannes recently, by one of what I think are the most interesting American directors working today, Kelly Reichardt, The Mastermind, starring Josh O'Connor.
Mm-hmm. And this was your pick, or was my pick? This was my pick.
I think you brought it to my attention, but we can call it either one of our picks. I would have watched this because I love this director.
Okay, I can go then on saying why I pick it. But basically I saw the trailer like once, and then right now is the Chicago Film Festival, like happening in Chicago, as the name indicates.
I was like, really?
Yes. And they sent me like some advertisement for it, and they says, oh my God, there's going to be like new movies by this director and this director and this director. And I said, oh, it's Kelly Reichardt. I said, oh, wait, which one was it? And I think that you and I like talk about it, about The Mastermind, and we says that it's weird that she's directing this movie, that in the trailer, I mean, it doesn't look like it's action-oriented or anything, but it feels more like a thriller than the regular slow-paced meditative flow that it tends to go with.
Interesting.
So we were curious.
I don't know that I had seen the trailer, but I can see how you got there for sure.
Yeah.
Because theoretically, this is a heist film, right?
Theoretically, yeah. And and that's the reason why I was like just curious. I know that you really like Kelly Reichardt, so I just like use the opportunity. That is like, if I'm left to my own devices, I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't go to watch a Kelly Reichardt movie. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm just really surprised you never saw Wendy and Lucy, but we'll talk about that.
We can fix it at some point.
Yes, we will.
But yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay. As I explain why, do you want to summarize it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the film follows our protagonist. His name is James. James is an art school graduate. At least I think he graduated. We know he went to art school. He has a wife and 2 kids. Mm-hmm. And he's just kind of struggling. He doesn't seem to have a job. He doesn't seem to be motivated to do anything besides go to an art museum where he's basically casing the joint. Not basically, he is casing the joint. And he is the mastermind behind a plan to steal 4 paintings by like a mid-level artist that apparently is a real artist, but I can't remember his name. Oh. His last name is Dove. Dove.
Okay.
So he hires some of his friends in his town to steal the paintings. And in typical Kelly Reichardt style, when she does a genre film, she kind of turns the genre on its head. So we said this is a heist film, and it is. There's a really, really pathetic, weird heist scene.
There is one heist. True.
Yes. True. But the bulk of the film is what happens to James after the excitement of the heist. How, everything that happens affects him, affects his children, his wife, and... Yeah. I think
it turns into a character study afterwards. Yeah.
And so if you were expecting a very slow meditative piece, you got it.
Oh yes, Judith. Yes, Judith. Let's just move into if you like it or not. And I would go first. I would tell you one thing that I didn't like. Overall, I like this movie quite a bit. But one thing that I didn't like is the music choice. The music choice felt straight from Ocean's 11 or a film noir. And this movie isn't either of those things.
It's
So that jazzy, up-tempo kind of music, it doesn't fit anything. Maybe the heist scene, but it's like, this is not the mood. You're building a different mood for a different movie.
but I mean, most of the film is without music, right? I mean, there is some in it, but like,
It's very, very obvious that she abused like that music for trying to set up like some type of tone. I'm not saying that she's doing it every time, but it's like every time that it was playing, I would be like rolling my eyes and looking at my boyfriend and say, I hate this music. Who, what does he think that she's doing? Like a sad version of Ocean's 11?
yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't remember the music specifically, and I remember in certain scenes I was like, wow, like a lesser director would have been like telling us exactly what we should be feeling, like by playing so much music, and it's pretty quiet, at least in the towards the end, the last third, I guess, is what I'm thinking of.
No. I mean, she still uses it quite a bit, Like, for example, he's on the bus like several times. That is like, okay, stuff is happening, but it's not music. It's not a stuff that actually requires this type of music. This music can fit like a heist, like a traditional heist movie. And this is not a heist movie. It's not. It's a movie, it's a drama where a heist happens. But it's more about getting to know the character, like the main character, James, like way better. Is that when you actually see him interacting with other people and they give you like nuggets of who he truly is like, oh, this fucker, this pathetic fucking loser is not like an underdog that you want to cheer for.
No, he's really kind of despicable isn't the right word. Pathetic in the like
Yes.
literal definition. He's just kind of a pathetic human being, and you want there to be something more. But that's also what he wants for himself, and I think that's kind of the point, is that America values those who, the has-beens, right? Not the never-wers.
Maybe, I don't know like how much these movies on the cinema, so we shouldn't be like like spoiling absolutely everything. But there are a couple of points that is like, I don't even know like what his motivations are until at the end I just say that is like, this guy is completely self-centered. Is that this guy is like just trying, maybe he was like a failed art student, because I don't know if he actually like dropped from his graduate classes or something. There is like a small comment that leaves you like something to be understood in there. Like with Maud, that I love that character. She plays it perfectly. Like the
She's so
friend in the
good.
farm. Yeah,
What
that
else
was
is she
amazing.
in?
I was actually checking it out like a moment ago. Let me just bring it up again.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. We can continue with your thought.
But it's like, with those nuggets, as he's like connecting more and more, is like what I took away is like this guy is just like, he never had like a complete idea of things that he was doing. It was more for himself. So it's so pathetic, so easy to hate, like conversations that then he has like later with his wife that is like, I just want to punch you in the face. And I like that it's like Josh O'Connor does an incredible job. Or just like driving this character that at the beginning is like, no, I want to cheer for him. And then you feel it's like, oh no, I fucking hate you. I truly hate you. You're terrible.
I don't want to like target one specific thing you said, but Josh O'Connor. Can we just all admit he plays the exact same character in every single thing he does? And it's good, but it's the same character.
I think Daniel Lakimera, it was a sadder character than here. Here is more delusional. But they're like, I understand, it's a similar flavor. But just in Challengers he had a bit more range.
That's true.
He was not as unhinged as, I don't remember who was the other guy, the blonde guy.
I don't think that guy's a household name, but yes.
Yeah.
But it's like shades. Anyway, I don't mean to get caught up on that, but he's one of those people.
That's fair. I think that is like one of those that is like, he may not be like the next biggest actor in the United States, but he's pretty decent. Maybe it's just that he's smart into just picking the roles that they really suits him.
I do think he's a good actor. I think he's quite talented. I just think he does pick these roles where he's required to have bad posture and be very quiet.
Maybe, he's a moody character. Yeah. So
I think neither one of us mentioned this, and I'm not sure that it's important, but I feel compelled to say that this takes place in 1970s. So obviously a time of unrest in America, the Vietnam War, and all of this is happening in the background. Maybe it's not relevant, but
no. I mean, it's a bit relevant. It's like without like giving like all of the resolution, but it's a bit of the backdrop of the story about like at what point was the United States at that point of internal turmoil and dissidence, and how he's like just trying to live like his independent life that is like pretty protected because his father is a important person without like getting into specifics, and then when you remove all of these like hey, you have been cattle for most of your life and you could get away with stealing small things like from the museum because this was not the first time that he stole anything.
Yeah, I on screen even we see like a little bit of foreshadowing, but we have to assume this is not like coming out of the blue, right?
Yeah. So it was like, okay, you live in this world, and now you're like thrown into this crazy heist. Well, you thrown yourself into it, and it's like now you no longer have like the same protection that you used to have before. That I love like that. What a friend tells him about like, oh, so you got tired of chirping around the edges and you just went all in. Yeah, he's like, yep. So yeah, I like it. My only complaint, and it's a small one, is the music. That is like, what the of movie do you think that you were directing? But everything else is like, I was like, oh, this is an amazing character study because we tend to be used to character studies about complex characters that they turn to overall being good. And I had the feeling that it's like, oh no, this is a character study of someone that is not good.
Did you see Robert Bresson's Pickpocket 1959?
Yeah, we recorded about it.
So I saw it. Let me tell you about it.
Please do. Educate me. I actually picked that one out.
No, I was just going to say that Kelly Reichardt, I can call her Kelly because I saw her speak in person once. The film is structured as an exploration, like Pickpocket, it's structured as an exploration of a sinner, why he sins, and the consequences of those sins. But I do find it interesting, these ideas that she explores of like the individual valuing themselves above the community while not being able to withdraw yourself from the community. And like, he couldn't do anything without basically a safety net of women behind him, bailing him out, taking care of his children, and this hypocrisy, but then also like with the backdrop of, somewhat contentious meetings between hippie protesters and Vietnam vets, and kind of that discussion about what America is and what it values. I don't know. I think it's elevated. I think it's a film that made me think, which is most of her films, and which is why I love her.
Yep. Yeah. No. Definitely. When we decided to watch this, I think that you were a bit hesitant on saying that it's going to be a heist movie. It's like, what the heck is he going to be doing with a heist movie? And it's like, that's the part that I feel like it's not really a heist movie, and even like just calling it a heist movie, it makes a disservice to the movie.
It's it's a heist movie the way Meek's Cutoff is a Western. It's like, there's like three similar things, but it's not.
Yeah, like the setup or one or two of the elements. Yeah. They're Native Americans. Yeah. Well, there is one Native American, if I remember correctly, Meek's Cutoff.
Right, but a whole lot of white people taking over, so Western.
Okay, sure.
I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy you liked it, despite the music.
Yep.
That makes me really happy.
I found it like super enthralling about like, oh yeah, I'm getting like all in when I actually disconnected from it. It's like, hey, this is not Ocean's 11. This is not going to be like high octane action. It's like this is a Kelly Reichardt movie. After all, it's like just settle in and just enjoy the pace.
And we could have conversation after conversation about the dangers of letting trailers set our expectations. But I think the worst thing you can do is go into this movie expecting a heist film. Just because it's not fair to the film, right? But it's marketed as that, but it's just not that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that also like the timing of the movie, I wonder if it helped or it detracts with the Louvre heist that just happened a couple of weeks ago.
I had
Because
the
I think
same
that I was
thought.
telling, yeah, I was telling someone that is like, oh, we're going to be like watching this heist, but the guy, I think that is not that good or it doesn't work as expected. He's like, oh, so like the Louvre one is like, I don't know, but yeah, the timing is a bit appropriate for this movie.
So the director, she's actually been fascinated by art heists, art thefts for a long time, and she was inspired by a specific 1972 robbery of a little museum in Massachusetts where 4 paintings were stolen, 2 Gauguins, a Picasso, and a Rembrandt, but very, very small scale. And the setting makes sense because in the early 70s, stealing art was apparently as easy as, well, what we see in this film, just
just pick it up and run. I love that. All right, let's go over the questions.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, so Blake, would you watch The Mastermind again?
I would, and happily. We alluded to it. This film requires a certain amount of work, but it pays off, and I'm sure that there are things that I missed this first time around that I would appreciate a second or third viewing. So yes.
Yeah. Same here. I had a feeling that there is like more knowing exactly where things are going to go and knowing what type of character James is from the beginning. I think that I will have looked at the first act under a slightly different light that I'm curious to see. Like from scratch.
I can see that. Yeah, it's interesting that opening scene in the museum where he's with his kids. I was ready for a completely different story, so it would be interesting to go back.
Yeah. Would you recommend it?
I would, yes. I think there's a lot of good stuff here. It's interesting. It makes you think. Yeah.
Yep. And it's a movie that I will almost recommend to my parents. I would recommend to other people, but it's like if someone asks me, hey, what did you watch recently? It's like, it would be like Practical Magic and The Mastermind.
Which one did you prefer?
The Mastermind.
Yeah, one for Kelly Reichardt.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a movie that is pretty easy to just like if someone asks me, what do you think about it? It's like, yep. Just watch it. Let's go for it. Would you remember it?
I think so. Yes, my only hesitation is that it is very slow in parts and not a lot happens. That's kind of the point. So I think I might forget some of the plot, but overall, I'll remember it.
I'm going to go with no, because I think that I would only remember a couple of details. A couple of, the guy does a heist. And maybe I would have even remembered about like what happens with the paintings, what happens with him, what happens with his friends, with his family. I will forget everything.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep.
Yeah. I maybe remember the feeling and maybe the fucking music. But beyond that, no, not the whole movie.
Two things. So remember 2 things.
Correct. And probably not the ones that Kelly wanted to remember me. Wanted me to remember. Is there anything artistic about The Mastermind?
Absolutely. A lot. I think, again, I know I'm a fanboy, but her direction is just, it's so confident and assured. I love it. The script, I think, is great. The performances are great. Yes, this is just a good movie.
Yeah, the script and the performance, I fully agree. Would you actually say that she has a distinctive style?
She's on the spectrum of like Mike Lee to Guy Pearce. She's definitely towards the Mike Lee and that clinical kind of functional.
Guy Pearce.
Did I say Guy Pearce? I meant Guy Ritchie. Sorry, like that super, like having a immediately identifiable.
Wes Anderson.
Yes, yeah, there you go. Wes Anderson's better. Definitely more towards that functional, clinical sort of directing, but I guess that's a long way to say no.
That's totally fine. It's funny that you mentioned Mike Leigh because in the background I was searching about another movie that is a character study where the central character is a piece of shit. That he was naked.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that movie. So many people pick that in the Criterion Collection closet picks.
It's a really good movie, and it's like it reminds me here because like it's completely centered about this character. Definitely, Josh O'Connor doesn't play like such an intense character as like the one in Naked. Like, who was the actor in Naked? David Twellis. David Twellis, yeah.
I only know him from
So-
Harry Potter.
Yeah. So, but overall, I can see like a style that it made me even like just think about. Like, it's not so much about the cinematography; it's the vibe. Mixkarov was a similar thing.
Yeah,
That is I want to build a vibe on you using like this slow pace, this more meditative takes. It's not so much about like rushing towards the destination. It's more about like living in the moment of these characters.
Yeah, I agree. It's a different approach than focusing mostly on the story. Yeah. I see
Yeah,
what you're saying.
Definitely. Yep. Next question. Is it a timeless piece?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the big themes are timeless. Questions and answers were always yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah. For me, the same. I think that you were mentioning even earlier that is like there has been like movies in the past, even like Blow Up. Is that Blow Up is also like a bit of a thriller with the backdrop of the society at that point. In this case, it's a heist with the backdrop of the reality with a character study.
Yeah.
That is like, yep, this is never going to get out of a style. So, would you turn this into a TV show?
I would not. I can't say why exactly, but this feels really complete as a film. I wouldn't really want to
Yeah.
mess with that.
Same here is that I can see someone being tempted into just several acts, but the problem is that the story has a centerpiece that it just dictates like a before and an after. As you were saying, like a sinner, the sin, and the consequences. Is more about like you cannot have like a TV show that has 3 episodes before the sin, and then 6 episodes after the sin. It makes no sense. It actually dilutes like the punishment for the crime.
Yeah, and if you think about like breaking the film up into 3 acts, the third act is just not that exciting if you haven't built up to it. It just wouldn't work for a TV series. Yes.
Yeah, and it's like a 60% in comparison with the other 2 acts. So, could the Mastermind have been a short?
It was an hour and 50, so they would have to cut out an hour. I don't think they could have done it in an hour, particularly in order to get across kind of this like meditative pacing. And no, you could not.
Yeah, I agree. This is not a movie that has like a lot of fat. Mostly everything is meat. And it may be a slow meat. It may be like a slow roast kind of thing
But
that it
it's-
cooks for a very long time.
But none
But
of
it
it's
works.
superfluous. Yeah.
Yeah. And last question. Do you think this movie could have been better?
I guess my answer is yes, because this is not a perfect film, but there's no big glaring gap. I guess maybe the music, but that can be your answer. The music didn't bother me.
Yeah, that was going to be my answer.
Yeah, no, I would say no, just because there's not a big obvious flaw.
Okay. No, that's fair. For me, it's a bit of a yes, but a tiny yes. That is like that part really infuriated me, like the music choices. The rest of it, I had a blast. There was not anything that I would say is like, oh my god, I wanted more of this or less of this, or that was a bit of a dumb decision. It's like, no, this is solid. This is like, she had an idea, the idea was a good one, and she executed on it perfectly.
So,
Except the music.
now that you've seen 2 of her films, would you be open to seeing others of hers? Because you didn't like one and you like the other one.
Yeah, I'm a bit, I don't know, like torn right now. Let me just check 1 second. Mixkarov may be like one of the biggest differences in scores that we had when we watched it.
Oof, don't remind me.
Yeah, I like this like much more than Mixkarov, and I would be open to watch more of her.
Well, at some point, not soon, but we should have a tiebreaker. One more film to see if Jose likes
To
Kelly
decide.
Reichardt or doesn't like her.
And these were all of the questions, so we should score this movie.
This was your pick, so I'm going to go first. I think this is a solid 8 for me.
For me, too. I was trying to debate between a 7.5 and an 8, but I'm going to be like looking away from the music for a second, that really pissed me off. And the rest of it is that I honestly left everyone. We went like with a friend, my boyfriend and I, to watch the movie with, and the three of us, we were like, this was good. This was way better than we expected. It's like when it actually like just connects with you, it doesn't let you go even at that slow pace.
It really makes me happy that we like the same film. That's it.
Does it make you happy that we like the same film, or does it make you happier when we dislike the same film?
It's more fun when we dislike the same film. But when I like a director so much, and then you see a film by her, and you're like, you like her, I'm like, oh, thank God.
Okay, okay. I may not be completely wrong about this one. Okay, but yeah, no, thank you so much for actually like pushing me to watch more of Kelly Reichardt.
You're welcome.
Okay, and to everyone out there, thank you so much for putting up with us.
And until next time.
Bye.